I want to get your quick remarks on this Saudi ordeal. There's a feature we've been running here on Citizen TV, Kenyans stuck in Saudi Arabia. In fact, even right now as we speak, there are families of 30 Kenyans currently being detained in Saudi Arabia, and there's a bit of mistreatment there as well, given that, yes, the stories, not all of them are negative, but some are. What is the lasting solution? As a legislator, Cherargei, this is an issue that has come up several times. And you know the way our people are trapped in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, some of them are mistreated there, the embassy doesn't help them much. What is the lasting solution for this?
Trevor, before I respond to that, is that I want to agree with Governor Mutua that the country, we need serious food storage facilities. I want to confirm in Elgeyo Marakwet now, they are throwing away potatoes. And there is, in Isiolo, there is a problem of food, or many other regions. So I agree with him that even sometimes we have to throw away milk because of milk glut. So I agree with him that we, as a country, I think we need to invest also in food storage facilities to ensure. On the issue that we have raised is that as a country, we need to relook at this issue properly. I remember the Senate Committee on the Social Welfare and Labor visited those countries. I think it was April or thereabout. They were to discuss, because I was told Saudi has more than 90,000 Kenyans. And you have to appreciate that the highest earner now in this country, by the way, as we talk from where we sit here, is not about tea exports or anything. It is the foreign exchange earner that has been sent by Kenyans in diaspora. It is the top highest earner at the moment. So it means, in fact, at some point I had proposed an amendment to some law in Parliament, or bring a law to even have a docket or a special directorate of diaspora affairs. Because those people who live in diaspora are people who are working hard. There are people, most of them work 3 jobs a day or 2 jobs a day, because of when you go to America, you meet Kenyans there. You go to Europe, you go to Middle East. They are working under hard conditions. So from where I sit, I saw the CS in charge of labor yesterday indicating that he wants to visit that place. But from the story that you ran yesterday, it is Kenyans who are complaining that it is embassy abroad in Saudi Arabia are not helping them. And yet we were being told by government, by the way, when they appeared, they were telling us that what was happening was that they have now what you call labor officer attaché in these embassies. But now what we are hearing from Kenyans, when you ran to this story before we started this show, they were complaining that it is embassy does not help. So from where I sit, we have enough labor laws in this country. The issue is, what is the agreement between the Kenyan government and Middle East countries? Number 2, what is the agreement between the Ministry of Labor and recruitment agencies? Because what we are hearing is that the contract that they sign between EA and Kenyan government and recruiting agencies, it is not known. Okay. You had a lady yesterday appearing on JKL say the contract they sign here in Kenya and what they go and do in Dubai or any other of those Middle East is not. So from where I sit, I think that we have enough labor laws. I want to challenge the government and the embassies in those countries to be proactive and assist Kenyans. Okay. And if they cannot, then we can push for another extra measures to ensure they are held accountable.
All right, Governor, wind up on this.
It's true. You know, we have to be imaginative the way we do our things. And we have to ask ourselves, why are people going to Saudi Arabia? They are fleeing an economy that cannot absorb them. I met some ladies who you could tell were from the village, boarding into an aircraft one time. I was going to the UAE in Nairobi. And they were very happy to see me. I asked them, where are you going? They are going all the way to the Middle East to look for work. They are never gone into a plane. What are you going to be doing? There will be a nanny, there will be that. Are you sure you'll be safe? Yes. I have to send money to my parents. People flee our countries, our third world countries, to go look for work. This is a phenomena of the gap between the rich versus poor. You've seen people dying in the Mediterranean Sea in ramshackle boats trying to flee to go to Europe. And this is an indictment on us as a people. You know, 60 years after independence, we are not able to sustain an economy that can keep our people robust, because we are so we concentrate so much in voting for leaders of our own tribe, not the tried and tested. We are concentrating on voting people because they are from our own group. You know what I mean? It's a very primitive way of choosing our leaders based on tribe. So I hope that we can snap out of it.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to our people in Saudi Arabia who are suffering, yes, I do agree that the embassy, and this is why I talk about logistics and thinking ahead. These are a recurring problem. We should have had a system set up so those people have an outreach program. We should have been able very quickly in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs dispatched a team of an additional 20 diplomats to deal with this issue. So they have a desk. They can go home to home. They can go to jails and deal with our people the way other nations do. If you're an American citizen and you're arrested today in Kenya and you're locked up for some reason, you'll find an American government official coming to jail to look at you. You're an American citizen. Do we have that ability to think ahead and be able to plan? That is why tumesema kwamba we need a revolution in the way we run our government. Tunataka mambo fresh. We have to revolutionize how things are done, and ideas are there. We need people who are imaginative, people who are able to organize themselves and be able to move forward. So it's quite sad what is happening, and I call upon the national government to actually get its act together and put its foot down. It only takes a phone call from our Minister of Foreign Affairs to the Minister of Foreign Affairs over there, or our President to the Sheikh, to the King, to say that it's looking bad. People are suffering there. So that Kenyans can be given an ability to work well, make their money, and come back home without the torture, there's alleged rape, alleged torture, alleged problems, their passport being confiscated, and all that.
Okay. Thank you so much for making time this morning. If you're wondering what you're talking about, I'm running that feature in just a bit, but let me bring up your feedback before we wind up on this. Really,
I want to, and then we'll have also time to do
your closing remarks. It will be 1 minute each, but let me bring up the tweets really fast. Bring up the tweets and see what you're saying. And Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya is the hashtag Daybreak. Jacob Abere says, as a country, we need to revise agriculture production policies and much needed to be implemented by county bosses. Good example is Machakos tractors and farm inputs projects. We no longer hear of Morio. What was that?
Mulio.
Mulio.
Food relief.
Food.
Dennis says, distribution of food to ASAL counties is the mistake we do. It's time to design water harvesting and reservoirs technologies in every sub-county, distribute seeds, machineries, intensive trainings in every sub-county. I think that should be initiated, all right? Regional Kenyan, you call yourself, says, coalition's ultimate goal is power. A party that doesn't strategize to take power at whichever level is dead. I can only wish that the leadership should always listen to the people it leads and serve them, okay? Ibrahim Uma says, these politicians form coalitions based on what one can bring on the table only to satisfy their self-interest, but not for the people. Let them form one party instead of having coalitions. All right. Gerard Gay, closing remarks. Very brief, just 1 minute.
So, thank you, Trevor, for having... I've seen, of course, I have a friend called Moses Kosgei. He's an AI engineer in Eldoret town. They are called Baba Wale wa Kinyosi. Is also following this program. And I think what he's also saying, because he comes from food-grown region, that government should invest. But my closing remarks is that as a country, let us take this COVID seriously. By the way, Trevor, every day, even where we come from, especially in Nandi County, there are always people dying because of COVID. I want to appeal our people that please let us follow government protocols, and we hope our people will heed. I know the nature of Africans is that we must socialize, we must sit down, we must mourn with them, we must celebrate, but at least let us be cautious about the COVID that we're having. And finally, I want to ask the NSIS and President Uhuru Kenyatta to stop sponsoring newspaper headlines that I'm twisting Kenyans. You know, this is setting Kenyans. We are tired of this being self-fear. Where every day, you know, the country, if you don't unite, you will be defeated by so-and-so, by William Ruto. If you don't unite, the country will go down the drain. This fear that is being sold, why is the president and these other people, state machinery, trying to sell fear to Kenyans? Let us allow Kenyans to make their choices based on what they believe in. And I believe that is what is very important. And finally, I want to appeal, even as we allow Homa Bay and other meetings to happen, let us not be selective. Let us also allow Governor Mutua, William Ruto, anybody else, even Kukubo, there was even Dida, to held their meetings and consult their people. Let us not be selective. And finally, appeal to the police. As you enforce these curfew and restrictions, don't forget you are Kenyan, you must follow the law. The moment you break the law, it is your colleagues who will arrest you. You will be prosecuted and you will face the full soul of the... So I thank you and wish you a very nice week.
Governor.
Thank you, and I'm also speaking to that Baba Kinyozi, that
Moses Koskei.
Moses and everybody else that has watched us. Just very quickly to say that this issue of drought is an embarrassment to our country. We have to make initiatives, even as governors, and it's not just the tractors in Machakos. Have more than 600 boreholes that I've dug with solar power. I have 500 plus dams and river weirs, and these are also being used for irrigation. So it's a measures that you do that are calculating towards a certain direction that enables you to succeed. Politically, let's put aside tribal cocoons. Let's start talking about leadership that can change this country forever. Yeah. And lastly, it's a personal measure, is that it's my birthday this Sunday.
Oh, happy birthday, Governor. Why they saw that?
Very happy birthday, and it's good. I've never held you know, a birthday party.
Yeah.
You know, if you grow up poor, so unaonanga kwa TV. But it so happens that the Tanzanian singer Rayvanny, we share a birthday. He's the only musician from this region, from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, who we share a birthday. Yeah. So we've agreed to hold a birthday together, and he's coming to Nairobi. Okay. And we're going to hold a small party, you know, less than 100 people, because of COVID measures, and in an outdoor setting, so the airflow.
So it's exclusive
people
invites.
Who have been vaccinated. So it's going to be exclusive, but it's something that it's good to celebrate life, and it's good also to remember that we're here for a purpose, and God ametutoa mbali, ametuleta hapa, and to celebrate that we're here not only for ourselves, but also to be able to give to others. So I'll be also talking about the Alfred Mutua Foundation at that time. We talk about things and releasing new songs, and you know, I'm very big on entertainment. Remember, I'm in that industry. All right. So I'm quite excited to be celebrating my birthday this Sunday.
Wow.
Happy
I'll
birthday.
be a year older. God willing, next Thursday when we meet.
Yeah, you'll be a year older.
I'll be a year
older now. When we meet next.
Dr. Alfred Mutua, Governor Machakos, thank you.
Ngoma mpya.
Samson Cherargei, Senator for Nandi, asante sana for making time.